Types of data. Most datasets have more than one type of data. At the most basic level, the data is either numeric, or it isn't. For example, as you can see, units sold, average price, and sales are columns that contain numeric data. Date, product, category, region, and country contain categorical data. Aggregates in Power BI. Power BI can aggregate numeric data using a sum, average, count, minimum, variance, and much more. When you create a visualization in Power BI, the service will aggregate numeric fields. The default is sum, over some categorical field, for example, average price, sales, and units sold. For textual data, like product or region, often called categorical data, Power BI will count the occurrences of each category or count the distinct occurrences of each category. For special types of data, like dates, have a few of their own aggregate options: earliest, latest, first, and last. Ways to aggregate your data. Moving on to options that we can use for aggregating a field. For text, like product, on the Column Tool tab, we have Do Not Summarize. If selecting it, Power BI will treat each value in that field separately and doesn't summarize them. Count. Counts the number of values in that field that aren't blank. Count, distinct. Counts the number of different values in that field. On the Visualizations panel, we have more options, first and last items. For numeric data, like sales, on the Column Tool tab, we have Do Not Summarize. Sum. Adds all the values in that field up. Average. Takes an arithmetic mean of the values. Minimum. Shows the smallest value. Maximum. Shows the largest value. Count and count distinct. On the Visualizations panel, we have more options: standard deviation, variance, and median. For date. On the Column Tool, we have Do Not Summarize, Count, and Count Distinct. On the Visualizations panel, we can have more options: earliest and latest. Now, we will explore the differences in aggregate settings between the Visualization panel and the Column Tools bar. Change the aggregate. There are several different ways to manage and change the aggregate Power BI uses in a visualization. The first way is to change the default aggregate through Column Tools. Select a field you want to edit, on the Column Tools tab, the summarization box, and select the option for aggregating data. By using this way, the default aggregate of the selected field is changed, and this will impact the next visualization using this field. The second way is to change the aggregate in a specific visualization through the Visualizations panel. This way will only change the aggregate type of a field for a specific visualization. To do this way, select the visualization, on the Visualizations panel, Build Visual, and select the field you want to change the aggregate type. To do this way, only the selected chart is changed. For example, we're going to change the aggregate of the average price. We're going to add the average price in the table. You can see in the table, the average price of almonds is $800. Actually, the average price of almonds is $200. We can check it on the data view. As you can see, the average price of almonds is $200. The issue here is that the aggregate of average price is sum, instead of average. So, we will change it to average. At the Visualizations panel, here we have the average price, and if we click on the drop-down, you can see, at the moment, the check is sum. We're going to click on average. Now you can see, average of average price of almonds is $200. But, the default aggregate of the average price in the data field still be sum, because we changed the aggregate on the Visualizations panel, so only the select table is changed. If you want to change the default aggregate of this field, for example, from sum to average, you should change it through the Column Tools tab. Now we're going to add the other visual with average price. You can see the average price is $200.